Hey there, Pisces, Sun, Moon, and Rising. This is Tina with 85th House Vibrations, and this is your general reading for 2019. So, boom. Happy birthday, Pisces. I hope everybody's doing well. It is your season. You know, it's your world right now. We just living in it. And according to the things that I have seen on Twitter, a lot of people are not living with it well, which is funny to me. I enjoy Pisces energy immensely. Now we're only 6 days in, and I've had some crappy crap happen, but I think like with any Pisces person that I've ever dealt with, um, I just can't stay mad. So that's what Pisces season does for me. I love it, and if something does come up, I just can't stay mad about it. So that's my experience. But apparently, other people aren't having such a great experience. So sorry about that. But anyway, let's I usually talk about aspects and things like that. I think I'm not going to cover that in this video, just kind of see how that goes. Maybe I'll just put some of the main ones, planets changing signs and new moon and full moon, in the description box. But I should go ahead and mention that Mercury is retrograding in your sign. Mercury, the planet of communications, and when you think is retrograding in your sign, like I said. So it's it's really it's really going to be tough for a lot of people to navigate, and I can already see that happening in the way that people are expressing themselves and how they feel about this Pisces season. You want to talk about um, the brain fog. I think it's real. I think this struggle is real, but for somebody like me, I like it. You know what I'm saying? I don't really. I got Neptune in the first house retrograde. Me and reality don't really get along that well. And plus, I appreciate the empathy and the creativity that comes out of the Pisces energy. I mean, it's a total jam. So yeah, I'm really sorry that other people can't experience it the way that I do. But anyway, let's move on. So Mercury retrograde. I think you guys probably get to go back, all of us, and address some hidden things, whether that be pain, energy, maybe even address hidden talents in a particular area of our life. That's going to be determined on where that retrograde falls in your own personal natal chart. If you're interested in finding anything out about that, hit me up and we can talk about it. So moving on, let's go ahead and get into this. Oh, I wanted to tell you, your cards are on the table because I started the video, or I thought I did, and it wasn't recorded. So I'm gonna be real honest. I'm gonna keep it. I do know what these cards are. I think this one too. But I turned them all back over so that you could have the most authentic experience possible. All right. So we have got the Judgment card. Excuse me, nails. I had to take the acrylics off. I need a break. The Judgment card. This is the 20th major arcana. And this is about, it's kind of like answering the call, the not just any call, the true call. Uh, it's the reawakening of your deepest self. It's this phoenix rising from the ashes. The Judgment card is also known as the final answer. So again, like I said at the top of the video, it's your world right now. We're just kind of living in it. I almost feel like this is whatever you say goes, and whether people want to ride with you or not, you're going to answer to what's true to you. You're going to, if nobody else is playing your song, you'll make your own song up, and you are marching to the beat of your own drummer, or in this case, you are, I don't know, is that a flute? You're just doing your own thing, regardless as to, or despite how anybody else feels about it, because this is what awakens your deepest self. This is what's true to you. This is your truth. It doesn't necessarily have to be anybody else's. Okay, the next card is the Two of Cups reversed. There could be some feelings of maybe a loss of connection with somebody in your personal relationship. Doesn't necessarily have to be romantic in this position. But maybe something going on in the home, with people that are close to you, specifically the mother. You could be feeling like in that respect that Something has broken down. That emotional connection seemed to be unobtainable in the month of March. And if I hadn't said already, for a portion of you, this may be with the maternal figure in your life. Like I said, it's with somebody very close to you in a personal relationship, but doesn't necessarily have to be romantic. The next card is the Knight of Wands. So your expression is vigorous. It's no holds barred, but in a different way than the Knight of Swords. I think this is more, the Knight of Swords is, it's mercurial, it's cerebral. Knights are all or nothing type energy, and the Knight of Swords is going to say what he wants to say or what he has to say, and he's going to have a pretty bold execution about those things. I think with the Knight of Wands in this position, it's more about expressing yourself boldly and passionately. Some people can find it very charming, and I think there are other people who really not know how to handle that level of expression, especially if they hadn't known you to be like that originally. There's something that you could be looking to, something that have happened maybe in your recent past that you are now willing to express now. You're willing to communicate. You're about to bring some shit back up. And like I said, whatever it is that is going to be expressed is going to be done. So it's going to be done in a way that it's confident, it's bold, it's taking no prisoners. You may catch some people off guard with it, but I think there is something to be addressed, and you're ready to do that now. Nobody's going to hold you back. Pay attention to having these conversations, probably with maybe somebody you work with, or it could be somebody, one of your childhood friends, or something that takes place within your short distance travels. The next card is the Three of Swords. Now, this could be in a romantic relationship, something that you desire. You could be heartbroken about it, or maybe the other person is heartbroken about something. And the Three of Swords can speak of some sort of separation. So these two are, kind of in opposition to each other. So maybe in this case, if it's not the mother, if it's not the maternal figure, maybe this is a romantic partner. There could be some sort of separation or breakup that happens this month. And it'd be because somebody, or specifically you, it's you, goes back and brings up some stuff, and, maybe it causes a rift, or somebody gets their heart broken, or, you Pisces, you could be deciding that you are not putting up with something anymore, and you just feel like, I'm gonna go back where I came from. You did this, you did A, B, and Z, and I let that go. I let that slide. But now I'm over it, and I'm out. And somebody gets their heart broken, and it could be you. You could decide to leave the situation and still breaks your heart. But I do see some sort of separation. The next card is the Six of Pentacles reversed. I think this is probably because maybe there were fights about there not being fair exchange on a physical level. Maybe one person felt like they were always doing and contributing, or always physically present or available to be, and one person felt like that, and the other person felt like that they were not getting that in return. Pisces, I really feel like it is you who pulls the trigger on this, and maybe you have felt like you are you're putting more effort into a situation than somebody else is, and it's almost as if that person doesn't even try, and you could have helped this person so much, or been there in that financial way, providing financial resources, or even fighting to keep the physical part alive, fighting for the passion, but they didn't give that in turn. They just didn't have any what's the word I'm looking for? There was not any tangible output from this person. It's all tangible. There was never anything that you could physically see or touch or smell or hear, from this person. Maybe it was all talk and no show, but I feel like you're not having it anymore, Pisces. All right. The next card is the World reversed. Lack of completion of some sort, maybe a lack of closure. This could also be, I think, that maybe you guys were trying to acquire some things, and due to one person's lack of output that I just talked about, you were unable to secure the bag, for lack of better words, to get what it is that you wanted. The other thing I see here low key is maybe differences in your philosophies. Serious differences in your philosophies, the way that you chose to further your education, or differences in the way that you want to grow, basically, and expand. There could have been some major differences there, and it just caused the cards to fall and it wasn't in the right position. It wasn't, these cards didn't fall in the place where you wanted them to fall. There is some sense of being incomplete, or feeling incomplete, I think, in something that you have been trying to obtain. The next card is the High Priestess reversed. In a sexual relationship, I feel like the High Priestess in this position is saying that one person have seen the other person is just somebody that was purely for the sexual gain. The High Priestess reverse can say that as far as sex is concerned, love and romance, is that one person sees the other person as purely a sexual being. And in this position, there are restrictions around that. There are restrictions around anything that's going on with the High Priestess. And if it's not restrictions, it's at the very least a stark sense of reality. The High Priestess in this position is not necessarily letting one rely on their intuition. It's got to be something tangible, or it had to be something tangible. Intuition and gut feeling was being ignored, or was just outright not available at the time. It clocked out early. So as a result of that, there may be some obstacles. I keep talking about this as if it already happened, even though we're talking about what's happened in the month of March. But I think whatever's going on here have already been in the works. Okay, the outcome is the Lovers reverse. Pisces, this is definitely with a romantic partner. So all of these things. I mean, the writing's on the wall here. The Lovers reversed being the outcome. Somebody possibly made a bad decision. There is a lack of a healthy connection with the Lover reversed. And you got the Two of Cups, which is the lower octave of the Lovers. As far as that's concerned, even though the Lovers is a Mercury card and this is a Cup card, but it's still a lower octave of this Lovers card, at least the way that I see it. And with both these cards being reversed and having this Three of Swords in this position, it's definitely suggesting that there is some sort of separation and heartbreak. But you're calling the shots, and this is your truth. So you need not question or doubt that, especially during Pisces season, where everything is going to seem unclear and foggy and unobtainable. I think, like I've already said, once you get that final answer, and I can't say how that's going to come to you, but it's going to come. You'll recognize that, and you have to rely on that. This whole thing is your truth in the month of March. I do think, Pisces, that you will be the one to sever connection. And if you take into the energy of the Judgment card in a positive manner. You are the Phoenix rising from the ashes, like I said. This card is ruled by Pluto, so it's sex, death, and transformation. Something has to die in order for something else to live. Maybe it is your connection to this person that has to die so that you can live. Not necessarily in the literal sense. You know, nobody has to die. I mean, we don't want to kill somebody. Hopefully that's not going on. But I'm just saying the death of this connection may be more than necessary for you to be your true self. And, you know, I keep saying for the month of March, but I don't know, because this is your final answer. I've said that 100 times already. It don't really change after this. But I think you're okay with it. You are going to be of your own drum. No questions asked. And that's the way I see it, Pisces. If anybody would like to get a reading with me, my information is in the description box below. You can hit me up on Twitter, Facebook. And that's it. I love you guys, and I hope to talk to you again next month.